Hey guys, here's Louis. So I am back on the Ladybird here, 1968 Firebird convertible. So I did a video of how to close up body panel gaps. And I chose, like I always say, there is 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Okay, you just need to choose one. And Louis chose of adding the rod, okay, a steel rod, a cold rolled rod. I shared that on video number 1, so check it out, to fill in the gap. Now this gap was huge. I mean, really big. Okay, and so far right now we are in good shape. Okay, 3/16 brake line, and she's pretty good going up here. Okay, pretty good shape here. Now I asked the question if I should cap it with metal, fill it in with filler or some type of a epoxy or something like that. And I got pretty much a lot of comments, and the one that won, okay, is to cap it with metal, which honestly, that's the way I was going to do it from the beginning. All right, just fill it in with metal, and that's what I'm going to do with sheet metal, that is. And I'm going to tell you why I chose to fix this gap by welding a rod, okay, which has been done many times on cars, especially classic cars. The reason is, okay, the gap here was so bad that if I decided to split it and bend this over to this side, the gap that it would have left on the quarter panel would have just been way too wide. Number one. Number two, guys, this is a convertible. It's not a coupe. If it was a coupe, I probably would have tried to split it, okay, because I've done it before, and fold it over and fill in the split. But for those that do not know or never did a convertible, you have a bracing here that is for your cocktail shakers, okay? And believe it or not, this bracing is really strong, and it gives the quarter panel also strength. So if I was gonna cut this will not fold over right away. I mean, as simple as you guys think it would. All right, being a convertible. Okay, and also, like I said, the gap was just too big here. It would have been a lot of metal that I would have to fill in here on this part. Okay, then when you're looking at the car from the back, this quarter panel will look just much wider than this one, if you understand what I mean. So that being said, now that I put in the rod, it makes this body gap here look a little too big, but she's not in bad shape like that one. So I will take the chance of cutting it right here at the edge. I don't have to cut it here. I could cut it right here on the edge and fold it over and see how much she fights me. And if she fights me a little bit, guess what? It's not going to be that much, because the gap here is not that ridiculous how it was over there. Okay, now when I said, should I cap it or should I fill it, the void, it's right here, okay? And a lot of people said, well, it's going to have a chance for moisture to go behind there and rust out and blah, 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 right? Okay, and I respect the comments. And guess what? If we are going to think like that, honestly, that goes for the rest of the car. That goes for the rest of any car. There's always a chance for moisture rain, when you wash your car, any of those to happen, that water will go behind any kind of panel, any kind of openings that there is. Believe me. But this repair should last a long time, okay? And if it happens to rust through, I mean, it's going to take a long time. And that's if it happens, because my goal is to weld this all the way shut from the top side and the bottom side. Okay, so giving it the effect of looking just like this. Okay, that there ain't no water that could go through here. All right, so that being said, I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a template out of cardboard. Okay, and I believe the abbreviation, if I'm not mistaken, is like CAP, CAP, something like that. Cardboard. It stands for cardboard something. Jonathan from Vinyl Village Garage knows it. It sounds funny, but it's actually something. You know, it's like a skill that people could do with cardboard. And I guess a template, well, it's a skill because you're going to need it. So I'm going to make my template out of this cardboard, okay? Then I'm going to transfer the template to this piece of sheet metal here, which is 18 gauge, all right? She's thick, 18 gauge. She's true 18 gauge. And this, I remember exactly where I cut it from. I cut it from a 1967 GTO trunk floor that I did on a 1967 GTO 400 matching numbers car. I have the video on that too if you want to check it out. It's on the channel. But that's what I do with leftovers. I have a whole bunch of piece of metal always behind here in the garage. Okay, I have a whole bunch of scrap metal also in the bird cage outside. And even these fenders, the owner of Ladybird here, you know, he had a terrible thing that happened to him. And I explained that in another video, that the hood got loose. And thanks God it didn't cause an accident on the highway, but it messed up the hood, it messed up the hinges, it messed up the fenders. The fenders are bent and tweaked really bad. So I'm going to save the fenders here for patch panels in the future. If I need a patch, I'll cut it off of these fenders because he allowed me to keep the fenders. He has good fenders that came off a Camaro, I believe 67. Keep an eye for that video because I'm going to show you. It's not my first time around. I've done it before. I'm going to turn Camaro fenders into first gen Firebird fenders. So if you subscribe to my channel, you're going to get the notification when that video comes up. So let me get busy here with Ladybird and make a cardboard serial template. Transfer it to a piece of sheet metal. Bring it here to my bench cutter. And I'll bring you guys right back. All right, guys, so I already pretty much sized up my cardboard template, and from here I'm going to transfer it to the sheet metal over there. Now, filling this in with sheet metal, okay, as I call capping it, it's going to take two parts of sheet metal. From here to here being the longest side, and then from here over here being the shorter side, which when I finish cutting this one out, I just get a piece of cardboard, bend it into that corner right there, that radius, that round radius shape, and right there, and I'll butt weld it to there, butt weld it to there, and cap it. So that's my idea. And we shall go and move forward. All right, guys. So from my cardboard template, I transfer it to a piece of steel. sheet metal that is. And here you go. So now I'll be welding all this straight through. And first I'm going to tack maybe 4 on top and 4 at the bottom. And then I will start fabricating this piece right here. And I'll bring you guys back once I did that. But so far, so good. Looks nice. Following the lines. Okay. Let's see if I could do this. Yeah, that looks good. All right, guys. So my first strip here that I'm filling in that void is tack welded. She's not completely tack welded, which is okay. I just needed to tack weld it to make her strong enough for I could continue, okay? And my welds are very low. I mean, it's gonna take nothing to buff that out, okay? And when it comes to your welder, you have to play with the settings, all right? If you could see this one right here, it's more like a ball. It's more out of a weld compared to these here that are flat. And what I'm trying to say is that I can show you how to flux core, but it all comes down to learning your welder, learning your settings. You can see on my welder I have a yellow paint marker here and a silver paint marker dots here and there, because I know those are my settings for a certain amount of welds, certain types I should say of welds. Like the D here and here are my plug welds because I'm going higher, so it's burning hotter. See? And for my wire speed to match here, I have these two. And this is just for like basically tack welds, these two. And over here, I always do my tack and my stitch welds. But it all comes down to learning your welder. So, also, if you could see that little tack right there, which is gonna take nothing to grind, that's my plan of welding this shut. All the way shut. As of down here, I could put seam sealer, okay, and it's really not that big. This is a small pick, and look, it fills it in, because there is seam sealer that goes here, okay. But all this will be metal. I will grind it down, and when I finish grinding everything down, I'm gonna use a body filler, which I'll show you which kind of body filler. And I'll just smooth it out, okay? You could even smooth it out with your finger, make it nice and smooth. And when it dries, just sand it, and you would never tell that this was ever done to the panel. But so far so good. I'm gonna stop here, and I'm gonna fabricate now to fill in this void over here. All right, guys, so far, like I said before, I have this tack welded. Now I just finished tack welding the rest of this curve right here to fill in that void, okay. And basically now it's just going to be a whole bunch of tack welding, okay. Taking my time, I will go from the top to the bottom, from the top to the bottom, giving enough space not to heat the panel, okay. And so far I love the way how everything is coming out. And what I used was, I did a tack weld, right, and I'll get my pick and also a small screwdriver, and I was pushing it in, and if you could see, she's flat in there. All right, really nice, flat in there. and I'm gonna just keep on hitting it by pushing it in a little. Okay, and then tack weld, tack weld, tack weld. And I don't know how good you guys could see that, but she's pretty flat in there inside the rod, just giving me enough space to tack weld it. You see, boom. And I'm gonna keep on going. Like I said, be careful with the heat and you won't warp your panel. Like I said, I always say, it doesn't matter if you're using gas or flux core, you will warp the panel a little, but you try your best not to by moving around and also applying some air to the panel. And also when you're grinding, is the same method. If you grind here, skip the next couple of inches and start grinding somewhere else, just keeping the heat down. Now let me see. Look at that, really nice. I love it. I'll bring you guys back once I have everything tack welded down. All right guys, so I have the bottom weld completely around and the top completely around. I just left this little bit without being welded yet. I want to grind everything, and any little pinhole that I miss, put a tack on it and grind it also, so I can make sure that I don't have any pinholes. And like I said, if I did miss any, I'm going to try my best not to, but if I did miss any, I'm using a fiberglass filler, which I'll show you guys which one. But it took a long time to not try not to warp this panel, so I had to go tack by tack by tack by tack, and so far looking great. Well guys, before I show you the end results of the body gap on the deck lid area / quarter panel gap, let me inform you guys that this Friday, this same week Friday, me, Jonathan, and Brian, the hosts of the show, is Brian Menson at Arrowhead Garage. So you guys that have not subscribed to Arrowhead Garage, go ahead and subscribe. Ring that bell for you could get the notification when the show is live. And this week was going to be a really nice video live chat of us talking about what to look out for when buying a project car. Okay, pretending to first generation Firebirds and many more cars. What to look out for. Okay. Also on this video, I want to thank a great follower of mine. He also follows Brian and Jonathan. His name is Eric. Okay, I'm thinking of having Eric and a couple of other Firebird guys that attack their own project by themselves on the live chat. Me and Brian and Jonathan are thinking about different topics to talk and also share with people your project, the person, how they got inspired, and how they tackled their own project right at home. So Eric is a really nice, cool guy, and he sent me this center cap, okay, for 68 Firebird Deluxe. And as you can see, I have a collection of them. I think I have 2 or 3 more also put away somewhere. But these are the collections I have here in the garage. So now I have more stuff on Firebird, which I love. And I appreciate you, Eric, for sending me that. I sent Eric a nice first generation Firebird flag, which I have sent to many people out there. Now, to share the results, let's go back and let's recap. So from the beginning, this gap on the deck lid on this side was terrible, okay? And I will say the deck lid so much. I'll say the quarter panel. It was installed incorrectly, okay? Good enough to pass, but not the body gaps. And we are extremely strict on body gaps to try to get them as straight as possible. I tackled this because number one, it's not my car. Okay, I am looking out for a viewer of mine that needed help on his car, and is here. And we named her the Ladybird. He did, because I wanted to call it the Blackbird, but we're gonna stick to the Ladybird. And this guy he's been really through hell and back with this car. Okay, and I'm trying to really look out for him, for he could have his dream car just like all of us want our dream car. Okay, and I have to watch the bill, I have to watch the budget. This being my personal car, I would have cut the quarter panel off, adjust the quarter panel, do everything in my ability to have a better body gap, and not do what I did. I have 2 hours and a half just in the metal work, and I still need to do the fiberglassing work, okay, and the block sanding and all that kind of stuff, where it could look even better. But as of now, I stopped welding, I stopped grinding. I have any little pinholes still to fill and to grind down, but right now I am stopping so I could finish the video and upload it. You guys that have done metal work before, you know the drill. Weld, grind, and all that kind of stuff, and it takes time. But guys, let me tell you something. I am really happy with the results, and there it goes. Okay, I mean, honestly, I can't be no more happier than that. Okay, check that out. She looks, I mean, awesome. All right, and I have my 3/16 again. Coming down is a little bit more narrow here, but I could always grind. All right, and this is what I was talking about. Okay, I filled in all this edge with weld, all that have weld. Okay, and I grind some of it down. I still need to spot weld wherever there's little holes. Okay, I didn't do it on fully, but I mean, she's at least, I would say, 85 to 90% done. Okay, and then I'm going to from here, I will grind it down nice, and I'm going to use a fiberglass filler. All right, I'll sand it down real nice. Okay, sand this down real nice. I mean, honestly, by the time I'm done with it, you will never know that this repair was done unless you watch this video and you got to see the car in person. But I'm really happy. I mean, I'm extremely happy how everything came out. Looks great. If I was gonna slice the quarter panel, you would have just tell a big difference on the width, because she was really big, that body line. But check that out. I mean, it really looks nice. I love the way the deck lid just looks straight across here. Really nice tight fit. Like I said, this one is a little bigger than 3/16, and I will ask the owner if he wants me to continue with that body gap, and if he does, well, I'll fix it. And this one I'll probably will cut, since it's not that far away. I'll cut over here in the edge and fold it over, because it shouldn't fight me that much. But this one would have fought me, like I said, with that convertible brace for the cocktail shakers, and it would have just looked crazy, more wide. But honestly, I'm really happy how she turned out. So here goes another method of how to fix body gaps on your body panels. I always like to share the tools. My number one tool that I use were the cardboard to make the template. There goes the template I did. Okay, I also use the Sawzall body saw here for if I needed to cut through the metal here, make a cut and weld and keep it nice and tight. I use my belt sander, I use my metal file, the rubber hammer, different discs to sand, this one and this one, which they last a long time. I buy them both in Amazon. I buy this is a 40 grit belt sander, also in Amazon. My bird bit, so this bird bit with this point is what I got to use right here to grind those welds down. All right, and trust me, once I am done, that is going just to look nice and smooth. You will not tell. Okay, moisture and everything, like I said, if you guys are worried about that, Don't build cars, period, because it's going to happen. Regardless, it's going to happen, okay? I'm going to try my best to seal it, that this repair should last a long time. Is it going to last forever? No, I'll be lying if I say that, but it should last a long, long time. Okay, I use a pick. From time to time, if the metal sneaked in, I'll pull it back out with the pick. I use a small screwdriver, flat screwdriver, to hold the metal tight to the quarter panel and then spot weld it. And also, number one is a must, the air nozzle on your air hose to keep the heat down. And let me tell you something, this feels great. It really does feel great, okay? So like I said, I still got little pinholes to fill in, very little, okay? Some pinholes here, but as for the main repair is basically done, okay? On another video, if you guys are interested, I could show you how to fill it in and how to block sand it. If I get enough comments of please to make a video of it, I will. My next video coming out soon will be how to use a flux core welder for sheet metal. Well, guys, here's Louis. I hope I see you Friday live. Remember, subscribe to Arrowhead Garage. It comes at 7:30 p.m. Pennsylvania time. Well, guys, keep your hands dirty and your project will move forward. Bye-bye now.